Well done, old chap.
I don't believe it.
Well, after
Dear God, you're black.
this reading, I don't think anyone at home knows what the post said.
I missed that.
I'm feeling rusty.
Yeah, we're all rusty. We are all rusty, but it's fine. Jen's rusty, I'm rusty. We shall see about Abe and Tally.
Woo!
Well, welcome back to the capsule.
Hey!
Impeccable timing. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the capsule. We had a little break. To lower the tone, I will tell you why we had a little break. I did put this on social media, but unfortunately, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, my dad passed away, which is a super fun note to start this on. But if I'm being completely transparent, it's legit the hardest thing I've ever had to go through in my whole life. So that is why I took some time off. Everyone's been super nice and kind of understanding that I'm a one-man capsule show at the moment, besides the actual capsule show, which is a 4-person capsule show. But, you know, with the Insta and everything, it's basically just me. So I kind of had to put everything down for a few weeks. And now we're back. And I'm not, you know, obviously not super back in action, but we're going to make an attempt to get back to delivering you the hard-hitting facts, because that's what we do here. And no, not the hard-hitting facts, the soft-hitting opinions. Yeah, so thank you to you guys and to Jen for bearing with me. Thank you to Sophia for being here for the first time and hopefully not the last. We are adding her to the tally of the team.
Meet Tally.
That's
I know, but it said
if there was ever a perfect time for the add her to the tally thing, she used the opposite one.
because
Oh yeah, sick. So yeah, thank you to honestly, like last serious note before we kick off with our usual bullshit. Thank you to everyone that's kind of bared with us and me through the last month or so. It really means a lot, and hopefully you kind of come back to rocking with us the same as you were before. Hopefully more, that would be great, but we'll take what we can get. So yeah, this is the capsule. How are you guys? Abe, Tally, Jen, how's your month been? What's cracking in life?
Abe?
Cool. I'm all right. My face looked like Hitch.
Sick. Proper announcing.
Proper announcing it. Yeah, my face looked like Hitch. I had an allergic reaction to something and my head was twice the size. So I've been dealing with that for a week.
He's had to go through every doorway sideways.
Yeah.
I dropped dead Fred in the fridge. Anyone get that?
Nope.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So
that,
thanks for ruining my story, Tally. Anyway, fucking hell. Other than that, yeah, no, just chilling,
living
just
life,
working, regular schmegular.
And that's on you, babe.
Talladega.
I
Nights.
did my...
And days.
It's telling a very profound story, guys. I barely started. I just did Identity Ideas Industry last week. The week
How was it?
before last week. It was smashing. The best time.
We love that.
Very, very good. And then had the Sweet Spot Sundays on the Sunday, and now I'm promoting, I'm hosting Larkin Poynton from the US of A, for a weekend in a couple of weeks, which is great. And Lion, Witch and Wardrobe transfer into the West End, baby.
Oh my God! Someone's good at their job.
So I added to the tally.
What's Larkin? Who's Larkin?
Larkin Poynton is a choreographer and move maker from
Colorado.
They are.
Of course they are, with a name like that.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
true. That is I'm born to be an artist name.
Yeah.
You don't go, Larkin, yeah, I'll be a plumber.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
He's amazing. and I'm really excited. Well, 2020, I just wanted to start having my teachers here. And then COVID happened. So he's the first of hopefully a few, just to kind of broaden the III thing outside of myself a little bit.
Sick.
And for context, people that don't know you and Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, what's the dealio with that?
So I choreographed a musical late last year that toured, and when Cinderella, which was, I think it was quite a high profile thing that they sent them packing, like there were issues with the amount of notice they gave and everything. Andrew Lloyd Webber's Cinderella, the producers
I did see something about that.
Producers of Lion Witch Wardrobe were like, we'll take it. You need to fill the theatre, we will. And so it like opens on the 18th of July.
Let's go.
Until like January.
So
That's
that
very
involves you being back in with them?
like 3 weeks rehearsal, week of tech.
And then what
open.
happens as choreographer when that show opens? Like, are you there every week or?
Oh, when it's actually up on its feet? No. So a resident choreographer. I know this from friends of mine that do theatre, but you'll have the choreographer who makes the moves, associate who will like help it on its feet, and then a resident who maintains it.
Can you, as the top of that hierarchy, can you be the resident if you so chose?
Yeah.
But
think
you
so.
it's like, I guess the idea being you don't want to commit to that many days. So you're like, right, I'm going to put someone in who is there every day.
Yes, and also what I learned on the tour, like we had 7 people off with COVID at one point, and our dance captain, who I guess was kind of resident as well, like she knew everyone's track.
Right.
So it wasn't just like, I know my routines and where people stand in that moment, but I haven't really registered where they exit, like all of that stuff surrounding.
So like, like making versus managing the choreography is 2 different types of choreographer, I guess.
Yeah.
Like
and
the
I
person
didn't
that-
know that. Like
yeah.
I assumed that I'd know everything that the people did, but because so much of the play was or musical was staging, and that's what the director did, it's not my job. I don't need to know that. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way.
Was that? Do you know if that was intentional on the captain's side? Like, did they go, right, I'm going to learn everyone's just in case any shit goes down? Or do
She
you reckon?
did go a bit above and beyond,
Yeah,
I think.
Sick.
But we didn't have a resident, so
got herself a job in the process.
she kind of needed to do it,
That's
really, I think. Yeah, because my associate, Jevon, he doesn't know the show like she does. So he
we
could
know
be
her?
resident. No.
Oh.
He could learn the show and be the resident, but she knows it
She
already.
smoked it.
So
Oh,
it
wow.
saves him a job, really.
Yeah.
She stepped the fuck up.
Yeah.
Dope.
That's interesting.
Shout out to
Captain.
Captain.
Tash Holway.
Let's go, Tash.
Let's go, Captain Tash.
Bring it.
Yeah.
How are you, Jen?
I'm good.
Sick. Where you been?
Been around the world now.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
That's fine.
If you sing it too well, we'll get flagged for copyright.
Well, I better shut up
best
then because
compliment.
I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yeah, I was on tour in Switzerland for 3 weeks.
Now let's go.
You was.
I was. I'm now back.
Now you're back.
I'm here now.
Hey.
Hi. Yeah, so I was on tour with a show for 3 weeks, 7 shows, 6 cities. So it was quite, like, it wasn't too intense because in 3 weeks it was like, we did maybe 2 cities in a week. But the show is called Portraits in Otherness, and it's a mixed bill featuring kind of emerging choreographers that come or that have different identities, whether that's whether that's culturally or in their dance language.
Ouais.
So, not funnily enough, it wasn't done on purpose, but the 3 artists that were on this mixed bill actually have a background in hip-hop styles,
Oh, yeah.
which was really cool.
Sorry.
It's making me want to speak French for some reason.
Yeah.
C'est portraits, you know?
So it was really good.
Well,
And now I'm back.
oh, no.
Yeah, you are.
That's it.
Yeah. And me and Jen were in Prague this weekend.
Oh! Did you guys stay in a hostel and then 2 women came in without any tops on and then they got with both of you guys and then you woke up in some underground bunker almost getting killed and had to escape?
You
Yes.
live alone.
I knew it.
But
Why,
you know,
what?
Have you not seen the movie Hostel?
No, I haven't.
It's based in Prague. It made me scared to go to Prague.
I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I did have a theory that all European cities are the same city.
Yeah. Go on.
And basically what you do is when you get in the plane and they just change all the signs and then they land in the same place and it's all the same city.
So you're saying Prague is the same as?
Pick a European city, Budapest. Maybe not Paris, but potentially Paris. Everywhere I've been, Bordeaux, any city in Germany, any city in Italy.
Now he's just showing off, isn't
talking
he?
so much shit.
Yeah.
No, check it, right?
No,
Check it.
I don't want to check
Cobblestone streets, small doorways. There's a bridge. There's a castle. There's
We have those,
exactly.
but we don't look like any of the places
There's-
that you.
There's a young hip area. There's an old town of like where
You're just describing a city.
exactly. They're all the same.
Yeah, but they all have those things, but
This is brilliant.
differently.
Yeah, because they change it slightly when you're on the plane to fool you.
Put a hat on that doorway. Now you are in France.
Exactly.
Don't take shrooms every day.
Yeah, stop.
Only
taking
some days.
shrooms.
Stop microdosing.
Only 3 days a week.
Stop microdosing.
I have never dosed micros. Anyway, that's my deep dive for today. Every European city is the same city.
Every what city?
Shh.
Say that again.
European.
You tried to smooth over that, bro. That was not working.
Mr. Worldwide.
Every year, Mr. Worldwide.
Guys, I haven't spoken for 3 weeks.
You've done very well.
That's definitely not true.
All right, let's get this bitch started. What have we got on the agenda today? Agenda. Why did I laugh?
That's what my section should be called. Agenda. Okay.
We'll work on it.
Okay. Okay. Recap. We're back. That's what we just did.
Yep.
Yep.
Don't have to read the titles, but it's all good. Yep. Next one.
I'm rusty.
Don't worry, Jen.
Did anyone see a show that they want to talk about?
Was that your way of introducing the next
Worst
question?
segue ever.
Yeah, don't ask a
The
question.
rustiest segue.
Don't ask, 'cause I'll be like,
Has anyone
nope.
seen a show that they want to talk
Okay.
about, Tally?
Brooke had a performance.
There we go. She's back. She just
she's
needed a warm up, guys. She just needed a warm up. She just needed a warm up. Give us that segue.
Okay.
And not the things that you ride on.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying.
What are they called? They're called segways.
They're called segues.
Yeah,
you don't do
yeah.
that on a segue.
The whole point is that you don't use your hands.
Yeah, you use your hands.
No, it's
you
just
hold
your
and
feet.
you lean.
It's just your feet.
You can have both. You can lean on them. They have handles.
Well, did you know that Brooke had a show at the place?
Did
What?
Did Whoa, that was so unexpected and natural. The way that came up in conversation.
As part of resolution.
I
And-
saw it.
What? Did you?
I did. Would you like me to talk about it?
Wow, we're so rusty.
So the best thing about it was
That's the
that
title.
the scene showed up for him. That was a really lovely
Oh,
thing.
that's not what I expected you to say. In the audience, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool. As in, like, there was a lot of, like, battle scene or just our
Both.
general?
Well done, scene.
Yeah, both. Like when we got there, well, when we were walking to it, I said to my friend, as soon as it's over, like, I'm cutting because I'm not really in a social mood at the moment. Then I was like, oh, there's so many people that I like here.
Aw.
I'll hang around. I'm really proud. Like I said to my friend as well, that I really enjoy people who you don't hear from and then they just pop up and they've done cool shit.
Yeah.
And when I saw that he was doing it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Because you just don't really hear from Brooke necessarily. You just see him do things. And it was
Because he
a
lives
really
in
cool
Narnia
thing.
now.
Yeah, well,
he?
no.
Not so much.
He's not in London anymore.
I think he
Last
might
time I
be.
spoke to him.
Yeah,
Oh, is he back? Is he back? What are you saying, bruv?
I will say on that note, there is definitely something, and I don't want to deep dive this today, but there is definitely something about social media needing to be your advertising and your marketing and your branding, but also it can be the downfall of those things at the same time. If you talk too much shit or you say the wrong things or you come across in a wrong way, it can like make your career and it can fuck your career. So in this way, what you're saying about, let's say like Brooke, is where someone that just doesn't isn't on social media, isn't talking all the time unless he's saying Locking is dead, then when they do pop up, you're just left with the freshness of like, oh, sick, Brooke. There's nothing that's ruined that illusion.
And he doesn't really share like process.
Yeah. It's just
like you won't see
I've got a show.
BTS of like a commercial that he's done.
No.
You'll just see him post the commercial.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't even know what's coming. It's just the thing's out and it exists.
They talk about that with like celebrities. Like now you have all their tweets and all their thoughts, whereas like they were saying like Michael Jordan might have been cancelled back in his day, but he didn't have social media to tweet his dumb shit. So you don't know if he's an arsehole or not.
I said this to you about Kendrick, and I said this to you about like I was mentioning how like because of social media and because of the way the world is now, it's a very gimme, take type of thing. So like the people who are at the top, when they pop up on the scene and people start to realize, oh, you're at the top or whatever. So like Brooke went and battled a bunch, and then when they then hide themselves from the world, when they come back, it's like
an event.
They always have that buzz, because you're always like, oh, I want to see what Brooke's saying, or I want to see what Kendrick's saying, or whatever it may be. Whereas, not that there's anything wrong with this, but as like, I don't know, the only example I can think of is like a Kevin Hart or The Rock. You're not like, I want to rush to see Rock's new film
because I've heard so much about him.
8 films.
God,
of him
don't
already.
say Brooke is the Kendrick Lamar of the dance scene, or his.
I'm not going to say
his
that.
ego will go through the roof.
I won't say that.
There was, I
He's very
think
pretty,
it was Florence and the Machine. I will go back to the show, but she did a TikTok that was her just like rolling her eyes or just doing something completely unrelated, but the voiceover and caption said, "This is me doing the TikTok that my record label have forced me to do." And then it started a trend of artists doing it, and then it's like, is this ultra meta thing of you now using this to promote and have a viral moment? I was like, this is fun. But Brooke's show was great.
Sick.
The cast were great. I don't want to forget, I don't know the name of the spoken word artist, but you had Silk / I was going to say he who shall not be named.
Yeah, there's our obligatory one Silk mention per podcast.
Ajani,
Yeah,
Marvel, Sean, Chris Arias.
Jonadette.
And I believe that was it. I think that's it.
can't think of anyone. Sean.
A really tight, like, just really narratively tight, or thematically, I'd say, because I'm not entirely sure I knew what it was about, but I got a theme and the theme made sense. The choreography was awesome. He did all the music himself, which I thought was
Produced it?
Yeah.
Wow.
We have a round of applause button somewhere.
Could you use Final
do.
Cut, Brev?
But we just have to wait for Jenny.
Oh, we wouldn't have known we were waiting for you. There we go. Yeah.
TJ also was in it, right?
TJ was also in it. Yeah.
TJ's pissed.
Do you know, I don't know TJ, so
Fair. He didn't.
forgive me.
Yeah. No,
but
we
I don't
love
have the
a
reference
we
point.
love a what do you call that? Multidisciplinary artist.
So he made were the songs good?
Yeah.
He's made a
Like,
couple. Do you know the
Just
video he did of
silently judging Brooke's
the
production skills. Go on.
the video he did of the football thing, the whistle thing.
Was that him that did it?
The music was his, and
Did he invent the whistle glove thing?
I don't know. I don't think that was his product. Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. But the music for that advert on Insta is his, and there's another one that I think is his.
I want to listen to that in a bit.
Can't remember. Anyway, we can.
Alright, Brooke.
Brooke, send us an EP and we'll play it
Alright.
on the pod and we'll react to it live.
All right, childish Gambrooko.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
But yeah, all right.
Cheers.
He kind of produces stuff.
Thanks, bud.
I'm trying to think of a better one. I don't have it. Yeah.
You know what that, in a sense, is like really cool about that is that for dance artists, especially like when you work for composers, and you know, hope Brooke does really well. But when you go touring and blah blah blah, like the music rights and all of that is quite a thing.
Yes,
So
true.
if you're an artist that also you produce the music for your own show, it's just like
Makes
it
the process
the-
easier.
Yeah, and also it's an opportunity to generate more revenue.
I was going to ask you, can you write yourself in a separate budget for composing the music as well as crew?
Yeah, of course, but even for royalties after that.
PRS stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah.
I know
So-
she said it like I'm such a dumbass.
Come on.
But yeah, so I think it's really dope to have artists that also develop like sonically an identity, you know, that
What a word.
might be
That's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's pretty normal.
agreed. Sonically.
The hedgehog.
Sonically the Hedgehog. Yeah, so I think it kind of allows to develop an artistic identity that might go beyond the movement, and that's not dependent on a composer that could also maybe work with somebody else and give them a similar sound. So
also going back to someone like Kendrick, musicians that have a visual identity are really important, and in the same way, visual artists like dancers who have a sonic identity, it's really important. If you're a dancer who, like, I would say maybe more doing your own creative work, like theatre pieces or whatever, but if you have music that goes along with every one of your shows, if you develop this kind of sonic identity, it's going to create your whole like thing, the world that you're bringing people into. Yeah, it will kind of create that sort of feeling and aid people identifying your work, I think. So yeah, I think that's super dope, like for Brooke to start that, because as this goes on, he can like grow as a composer alongside growing as a choreographer. But yeah, Jen, stop laughing at me. What were we going to say?
I wasn't laughing.
Okay.
Tally was laughing.
I was laughing.
Oh,
So rude.
so rude.
What was I gonna say?
Don't know.
5.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say for
Nice.
for this thing on social media, that speaking of the evil of social media, but also music producing with all the music rights on social media, if you also create your own music, that's also #winning.
True.
Yeah.
Winning.
Imagine you get so big that you post your own video and then it gets taken down by you. Can that happen?
And then you're like, what the fuck?
And then you pick up the other phone and you're like, all right, we'll allow it this time.
Well, only because you're handsome.
You're like, oh, thanks. That can't happen, can it?
Stop it, you.
It could happen.
Could happen.
All right. Yeah.
Someone's done that.
Unlikely to happen.
Unlikely.
Yeah. But congrats, Brooke. I hope I get to
Yes,
see it.
me too.
Because I wasn't around.
When's it ending? When's it finished?
It was just a one time. So resolution is like you basically apply and a bunch of different artists get it.
Yeah.
And it's held at the place by the place, and they split you into, I think, only pairs, right? Or can it be 3?
Yeah,
It's
3.
Oh, it's usually 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 3 acts in a night and they do a multiple nights.
Yeah.
And
Like a month long.
is the month-long festival, and a bunch of different acts and artists get a chance to kind of put new work on. It doesn't have to be new work, but it's just a chance to show work, I guess.
That's so cool.
So yeah, good shit. Congrats, Brooke. Look forward to seeing it at some point if he shows
Does he
it
ever
again.
do anything that just is shit?
No,
I'm kind of sick of him, to be honest.
I'm not.
I am.
I'm trying to think of something that Brooke did that was shit.
Brooke, mate, like, yuck.
Do you know what I
You know
mean?
what I mean? Just for once, just do something that you're just like, yuck. That wasn't it.
No.
You know, I don't get that with Brooke. Rarely do I watch him and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't it.
Good.
Although,
Brooke cape off.
although playing devil's advocate here,
It was shit, really.
Podcast
what
brain
you're gonna
on.
say? Go on.
No, there is something to be said about needing to do shit things because you kind of take risks and try new stuff. So maybe we haven't seen Brooke do anything shit, but
He might take a risk soon.
maybe that means that we haven't seen Brooke take ultimate risks.
I thought this was risky.
He's playing
Oh.
safe. Oh, was it?
Well,
Has he
maybe he's just really good.
Has he made work of this length? Has he made work for theatre?
Oh, he
before?
did, yeah, promotion. But I'd be interested to know if it's super
What's that
different from
face
some
mean?
of because they did the Ideas in Motion thing, which they toured the Breaking Convention. That was about 20.
I think
or
I
15.
did that start at Open Art,
Yeah, and we saw it when we toured with them.
it.
Yeah,
but that still felt
promotion.
quite set. Like
And this was
this
like very.
was not set.
They
like,
also did Breaking Convention. He's done a couple long piece ones with Plague.
set like
Yeah. No.
not narrative.
No narrative.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did
Okay,
one with
fair
Plague
enough.
with Natalie and that.
I'll fall back then.
Well, but you know what I mean though. It's like not specifically about Brooke, but I guess like as an artist, it kind of is important to do some shit because it's like, yeah, try that didn't work. Try, and then it might be like, put it this way, like Brooke for sure has done shit things, but we just don't see them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Because he puts up and get like he has a good process of getting only out the stuff that makes it to a certain standard. You know what I mean? So he must be making shit stuff somewhere to get to the level that he's at what he's doing.
Yeah, and also with the level of experience that he has now,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that he wouldn't put out some like
Yeah, of
like
course.
I was saying that he doesn't put out that much
And he almost
content.
he might have done stuff that he thinks is shit, and we still think is great.
True. That's true.
So there's that as well.
Also, I would say
Yuck.
You know what I mean?
Committing to making music for a 20-minute show
Yeah.
is a
That
big
you
risk.
Oh, true.
choreographed.
Yeah, that is a big
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the payoff worked
Yeah.
according to
Yeah, I
Tammy.
was just
I
trying to
think so.
have a take.
But I agree though
You
that
did. You had a take. You
thanks.
took real
yeah,
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Okay.
cool. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
Let's.
Like a little dog.
You're
All
a
right.
little dog.
To I'm not gonna lie, I don't know the details. Is this the part where we turn down?
No, I'm not going to do
I'm
it again.
joking. Oh, it was you. I thought it was Abe.
What? It wasn't able or me. The dog just came. There's a dog right there. He just
Alright.
came in.
So I think maybe this one I'm not necessarily the best one to introduce or speak because I don't know the details of what happened. So if you want to speak about what happened on Instagram with Bay Studios,
Yep.
Luke, please do it now.
Let's rock it. Let's rock it till the wheels come off. Ay. Smoke weed. Never, because it's bad for you. So, Base Studios. Hey, pull yourself together, man. Fucking hell, guys. So, Base Studios put up a post seemingly to me out of the blue, although probably not. Currently is on about 4,000 something likes. Great.
What does it say?
Great for the algorithm.
What does it say? Base.
It says authoritarian voice. Base Studios shall now be stepping in and halting any classes which we discover are running as auditions within our premises. Halting is a great word. We absolutely support talent being scouted from class, especially with the lack of auditions within the commercial industry for this generation, from a domino effect of dance projects being allowed to run through agencies. My cadence is way off with this. We completely encourage dancers being discovered when training in class and shall always facilitate this platform. But promoting potential work, in air quotes, as a tool to increase class numbers is an unfair manipulation which results in dancers paying to audition. No talent should pay to audition, not just dancers.
Talent should get paid to audition.
Well,
Recalls.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. Don't
Oh,
you?
do you?
Recalls. Not dance recalls, but yeah.
we are not limited by equity regulations. We do not aim to please commercial agencies/companies. Our brand maneuvers through our own moral compass in attempting to support what is fair for the industry as a whole, so that everyone wins. If we discover this shrewdness being actioned within our premises,
Be
we
more like, to say that last bit more like a
British.
British, yeah. Like
if
Harry
we
Potter.
are to discover
Yeah, that's
this shrewdness being actioned within our premises,
Yeah.
we shall not hesitate to bring it to a halt immediately. It's
Yes.
very firm. Simply
That's what
because...
she said.
Oh, wait, let me start again.
Okay.
Stop it. Simply because this... Oh, cadence
Come on.
is all over the shop.
Harry Potter.
Simply because this ultimately dilutes the structure's quality within the commercial industry and therefore will not be able to sustain itself long term, full stop. If you would like to hold an audition...
Yes.
Oh, this is less authoritarian. If you'd like to hold an audition, please hire a studio and construct an organised casting through agencies. Otherwise, we politely ask you to book elsewhere. Now,
Well done, Base.
well done, old chap.
I don't believe it.
Well, after
Dear
this,
God, you're black.
this reading, I don't think anyone at home knows what the post said.
I missed that. What happened?
I was being... Abe! Put your clothes back on! Oh my... Abe, take that out of there. Disgusting.
Show us your capsule t-shirt.
Show us your capsules. Get your capsule out for the lads. Men.
Fucking idiot, man.
Men.
Oh my God.
Hello, Talladega.
Hi.
So let's bring this back. Bring it back. Bringing it back. Hosting duties on.
So
forward.
Base laid down the law.
Yes. Okay. So, me being an uneducated outsider, I basically, as the roundup, is that Base don't want people advertising a class, and then it ended up being an audition in disguise. Basically, am I correct in summing that up in one sentence?
So someone went, come to my class. It's just a class. And was like, but really, we're auditioning for this
Yes.
Harry Potter musical.
That, and also, this is the class, but we're looking for people for ... Like it can be more overt.
Okay, can I ask for some definitions, Talladega?
I have a question quickly on that. What's the... That's not an audition then technically, right? Because
Yes.
you're saying... Yeah, so that's all... The base is saying it's all right if you do that.
No,
But you're
they're
scouting
not.
for talent. No.
No.
Wait, this is what I want to clarify.
Okay.
Can you define for us, for amateurs, what is an audition
Yeah.
in simple terms?
If there's a job to be had, it's an audition.
Okay.
And how would the format of an audition usually run?
Usually run.
Yeah.
You'd learn some material. You do it in groups, whether or not you're cut in rounds and booking the job there and then, or you're getting it put onto tape and then being told after the fact.
And it would be advertised as an audition. You would show up and not have to pay to do this process.
No, you wouldn't pay.
And then you would get chosen or put through to a next round and then paid
yes.
at the end.
Yes.
Now, can you define for me what being scouted means?
I was going to say technically, but that's not what I meant to say. Stereotypically, that is linked to an agency. So there'll be
Okay.
an agent in the room and they're scouting for talent. So it's not for a job. It's more for like job prospects.
Okay.
Like to add to their books kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah.
Does it ever happen that you scout for a job, that like people will come to a class or a camp or whatever and see someone and say, like with the express purpose of seeing someone and saying, we want you to be in this job, in this music video or whatever?
That's great.
Normally they would make them audition after scouting them, right?
Yeah.
That's when the audition part
They would
come in.
invite you to an audition.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I don't think they'd go to scout with a job in mind, because
Yeah.
then you'd look. It's semantics, but
Yeah.
like looking, scouting. But generally, scouting is for agencies, and auditions are for specific jobs.
So
Unless they're agency auditions.
if you showed up to, let's say you're casting for something and you happen to go take class, and while you're in the class, you see someone and you're like, fuck, we're looking for someone that
That's the
looks and
perfect
dances
Harry,
like that.
yeah.
That's the perfect,
Harry Potter.
If I was teaching,
if you were
just in there
the
with
class,
them.
would it be unethical to go and approach that person and say, listen, or would that be what Abe said? Like you would go and ask them to come and audition?
Yeah, or like it's happened, we'll get there, but with dancers where I've seen them in shows or whatever and then suggested them to someone that I'm working for, and then they're coming to an audition and then getting a job. But if I'm there in the class, I'm not in a position, I get it as the multi-hyphenate that I am, but I'm in there as a student. I'm not in there with like my agent hat like a sleuth, just like pretending
Yeah.
to take class, but really I'm there scouting for talent, just struggling at the back, but like, who's here?
Like 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he'd be great.
Yeah, the only reason I ask is because I feel like, and we're going to get into it, but I feel like this subject has a lot of grey area. I might be radically wrong, but like, when is an audition not an audition? When is an audition an audition? Like,
So,
you know what I mean? But
shall
let
we
me
go into the specifics of what happened?
Yes,
Yeah.
you
It's got to be in line with the foot.
spiel, and
That was a great impression of Luke.
that was a great callback to one of the other episodes. Was that our last one?
Who knows, bud?
Who knows, bud? All right, Tally, run with it.
So when Luke was like, hey, here, throwing it to you, I went and became an investigative journalist.
For which we
And-
are eternally grateful.
And first got in touch with Dancers Network just to see, is this a question of bad practice or is it a legality? Because
Sorry, I'm just gonna
no, you're fine.
be the layman person. So the idea of holding a class that you're not advertising as an audition, but either when people arrive or not even telling them, making it an audition on the day, we're wondering whether that's like strictly against the law or if it's just shouldn't be done, frowned upon, versus
You
actually,
just said what I said in a
yeah.
legal way.
I just feel like
That wasn't layman's terms at all. I
Was
feel
it
like
not?
you made it more complicated.
all right. Well,
Fuck me.
I'm a smart layman. All right. Well, I thought I made that.
So I emailed
I'm
Dancers
grieving,
Network
guys.
about that. Oh my gosh. So I emailed Dancers Network about that and to see if they would actually be interested in talking to us about it.
Yes.
And then realised that I was kind of a step removed. So I contacted Dax, who is one of the co-founders of Base Dance Studios. I got an email back from Dancers Network, which was very helpful, and a voice note from Dax. And all that to say that we can just talk about first, I guess, the specifics of what Dax was on about. And there's
because Dax is who's the one who wrote the post for Base.
Okay.
So firstly, he was at the studio and saw a class, but it was an audition. So that's the first instance. And then another that I'm not sure he was in the room in the studio for was a class that was advertised just as a pop-up, and then an audition was happening. So the first one, I think the students were aware of what they were walking into, but that's just not okay. And then in the second, there were people in the room that were just there to take a class and ended up just being swept up in an audition setup.
What is the difference between
A class and an audition?
a class where you get taught?
If there's a class that's like, but we're looking for dancers for such and such, everyone's going to rock up ready to audition because that's what they've been told is happening. Whereas if you say you're teaching and we all go, and then it turns out that actually you're looking for dancers for an artist, and then suddenly you're teaching the material really quickly, you're doing it in groups of 3, you're getting it on camera, or you'll do it in 5 with these 3 at the front, you 2 at the back, then you switch and you do it again. Like, it's just an entirely different experience and setup.
That's what I was wondering.
And then the third that he referred to, but I don't think is about this situation, is the scouting one. So teachers saying, that also happen to choreograph and are attached to an agency, hey, I'm teaching this class, but such and such who heads up the agency, they're going to be there looking for talent. And that one's grey because it's not an audition, but it's still a little bit exploitative because more people are going to come to be seen by that.
I was under the impression that scouting through classes was always done, because I know people for years, since I used to do classes more, that would go to a certain choreographer's class because they're the choreographer for an agency. And it's like, well, if I want to get into this agency and that person teaches, happens, so I'm going to go every week.
But that's the choreographer teaching. Like, I always thought that my classes should have been busier for a period because all of you lot seem to want to be up Aaron Sillis's butt crack, but you're not quite clocking that you're not linking to the fact that I assist him. So I'm one step removed from that person. So that's the only way you're going to get in a room on a regular basis with anyone that's anywhere near him. But I'm not saying
I'm scouting for,
and I'm scouting
so
for
it's more the issue using that fact to pack your classes, right?
Yeah.
So it's it's not necessarily that you can or can't scout in a class, or if you see someone you like ask them to come to an audition or whatever.
Yeah,
it's just if you're saying on your
selling point,
right?
But that one's kind of a side bar to this issue, I think. So Dancers Network, I think the most helpful point of the email that they sent is that job seeker fees in the UK are illegal, meaning that anyone seeking a job shouldn't be charged to do so.
And that's against the law.
Yeah, illegal.
So even as a freelancer, even as an artist.
So politely done. Well done.
I will say that there was a link to a government page that I didn't go through, so I didn't do my total due diligence as an investigative journalist, but I'll take their word for it on that one. And then, so it's a legality and it's not allowed. But then from a moral standpoint, I just think that professional / job seeking situations and training situations should just be kept completely separate. And if I had paid to take a class and then I was subjected to the structure that I just described, I would be fuming. I'm fuming like that if I take classes that are like filmed.
This is what
for
I was
like
going to ask
half
you.
hour of, but that's part of the class setup now, and it's not an audition. So
Really? The film thing, the film part.
some classes,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do
like
they?
when it gets to groups, it's just like half hour. The class is 90 minutes, and half hour of it will just be groups and filming it.
Because I know like they do the filming of like just like once with one group and once with another group and then once with a teacher.
I'm not going to play this on the thing because I don't want to say who we're saying, but I'll show you what the type of thing
Okay.
we're talking about. But yeah,
You
sorry.
can see like at Millennium in LA, for example, some of the teachers' class videos that are literally 10 minutes long.
yeah.
Bloody hell.
Because
And they're
there's
like-
just that many groups so that everyone can pull out their group and share it. And, you know, I get it as an economy entirely. But from an audition standpoint, even if they're like audition technique classes, and those exist where you're going to learn how to audition well.
Mm.
But it's just, it takes a completely different mindset and physicality, I'd say. So
Yeah, and also
end
I
of a
think
class.
that there's something to be said about it being unfair for people who would have maybe wanted to audition for that. Or wait, are things openly advertised as an audition?
Both. We're saying ones that
Sometimes,
aren't
yeah.
auditioned, and then when they get there, and some that are
Yeah.
advertised.
Yeah, like I feel like, okay, it's unfair if you just want to go to class and then you rock up and then it's an audition, but also it's unfair if you would have
wanted to and put your best foot forward kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But because you're not
Like, and just wearing like
Also, auditions like are anxiety inducing. Like, imagine trying to turn up to a class and be like, yeah, let's go to class.
Yeah.
And it's like, right. And then you go over there and we're going to go with group 5. And you're like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. But also like that, but I feel like to what I was saying about if it's a little bit like cliquey, like if you don't follow that teacher and go to class regularly, then
You're not
you
going to
don't-
find out.
Yeah,
about it.
you're not gonna find out. You're not gonna know because it's like closed. You know, it's only if
In
you're
which
already
case,
there.
hold a closed audition and just invite who you want to
Yeah.
audition.
well, just cancel your class for that week, pay studio,
Yeah,
like hire, and then do the exact same thing. But to
Yeah.
take money off me,
yeah.
to give me a chance to book a job, are you
Stupid,
giving me my money back if I book it?
Yeah.
All right, I have some questions. What are the reasons? We may have covered some of them. What are the reasons for Base not wanting this to happen, or a dance studio? What's their interest in halting these things?
I think I think they know that it's wrong.
So they're kind of sticking up for the dancers.
I think it's a moral standpoint, and like Dax and I would speak a lot more when I was doing more of the Dancers United and Equity type stuff, but just an awareness that the structure is off and that dancers will, especially when they come straight out of college or, you know, self-taught and going into the studios, they would fall into whatever structure is there. So I think this is just to kind of call out that it's not the done thing. I don't think he's going to stand out. And I think he's like, I'm not going to tell off the people that are going and they're uneducated and don't know. He's trying to...
Which is the way I think all things should be done. Like the people who put those structures into place should be, rather than just shouting at, we do a lot of that in the battle scene, just shouting at the average dancer when it's like they didn't make that
But
thing.
equally, I don't know who who the people were that were holding the classes and auditions, but they might not know
True.
either. But
I guess you have
now they
more of
do.
a moral responsibility if you're in a position of...
Yeah, because I get how you just think like, oh, this is a great thing to add on that such and such is coming.
Yeah.
So I remember back in the day at Pineapple, the studio, we called it the Goldfish Bowl. Like when you walk in and there's the windows,
Yeah.
like at reception.
Yeah.
You'd be taking a class and then like an agent would just be walking in to meet their mate after the class, but they'd like just stand there and watch. But it was never said that such and such is coming. So it's great when it happens, but you don't want to use that.
They do that with the acting workshops as well. Like it specifically says on there, this is not paid for audition.
Right.
This is just a workshop.
But also, I think these things can happen, but there's a difference between something happening spontaneously and then people trying to cut corners and not do things the proper way and trying to save, you know, 100 quid on
Or
renting.
make.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's one thing to save money, but to like profit off
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's
So this was going to be my next
wild.
question: is what is the motivation for the choreographers or the teachers to be doing this? So they're making money because more people will come if it's an opportunity rather than just a class. Potentially some ignorance in there that they just think that, oh, this might, I'm just trying to advertise a better class, so I'm going to make sure that they know this thing, but they don't realize the moral.
Like it's really like from a seasoned point of view, it's hard to believe that you wouldn't feel a bit grubby about it. Like you might not know the legalities surrounding it, but it's hard for me to accept that you'd do that and not feel a little bit like you were ducking and diving or doing something you maybe shouldn't be doing. But
never know.
I think people probably do that, but like more scouting. But like, I don't know, I feel like in
They
the
do
acting side of it, yeah, they do it, and they're not doing it anymore. Not at base anyway. Like, if you see someone who's sick, you're not going to be like, oh, well, they're sick, but they took a class, so I'm just going to pretend like I didn't see them.
Yeah, there's like some level of like you're taking notes on who you think is good.
But at the same time, it changes the dynamic for the person taking the class. It changes it.
If that's not just like you said, like it could happen, but like that's the expectation.
Yeah, you shouldn't be expected that it should happen. You should just be going on to class, and if something does happen, like, hey, you're pretty good at dancing, want to be in Jungle Book? You know what I mean?
Do you know what came to my mind?
Tell us.
This?
As long as it's not stupid.
No, it's actually not. Is that it's interesting coming from the scene that we come from, seeing them step in and stop something like this, because there were years, and admittedly not everyone went about it in the right way, there were years when people were pissed that choreo teachers were using like the name hip hop or whatever to teach a class when it was just like some personalized choreo, and there's like the style of hip hop with its own foundations and stuff. And it was in a similar way being used as a marketing term. It does across the world, being used as a marketing term to like, oh, come and do hip hop because that's the cool fresh thing. And it's like you're dancing to like Britney Spears and essentially doing like jazz funk kind of whatever, but you've said it's a hip hop class. A lot of people in the scene were pissed about that. And it's like, there was a lot of it was gone about in maybe not the most productive way, but it does show the studios can step in when they need to. And it's like these studio owners didn't step in when this was happening, and they just went, oh, well, what's it got to do with us? And it's like, oh, so you can step in and stop stuff when you think it's morally, when you care and when you are educated on the idea and you say, oh, this is wrong. But as studio owners that are putting these classes on, you should also be educated in what hip hop is, what popping is. Because it's like, either don't and just make money and step out of it and just anyone who pays for my slot can do anything they want in it, or get involved morally. And in that case, it kind of leaves me coming from the scene that we come from feeling a bit like, hey, we asked for your help for years. We asked for you to set a standard on the classes that are being taught, because it's very hard and few and far between to find good style teachers. So when we have someone like Sean teaching pop-in at base, we don't want his class being detracted from by some other person that teaches a bullshit version of pop-in or hip-hop or you know, whatever. And there's people that, as I don't know if you were involved in, I don't know how to say the guy's name, but like that there was someone that taught that had to be told that he wasn't doing anything street dance or hip hop related. And
Marky Mark.
Yeah. I don't know if we're saying that publicly or if we're bleeping what you just said, but
is it that guy?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tell me.
Oh,
I got really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what happened?
No, just what I'm saying basically just
Show you up.
Oh, we'll show you.
Okay.
It was lockdown, no one had anything to do.
Yeah.
So
he got the heat.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, gee.
Yeah, he got
he caught it real bad.
Really?
But like,
did he catch it live? Was it?
No, just like it
on social media,
DMs being shared around. Like he kind of got like.
I wanted to see the eyes. Sorry,
but what I'm saying is like people had to speak to him for him to change his class name, and I think he has. Or people have had to argue about these things between themselves, and it's like. My question was always like, is there not some responsibility on the studio owners of this? And not necessarily talking about base in this specific example, but in general, this does set a precedent that studio owners can and will step in when they see something morally wrong happening. So then do it more often.
I think with this one, maybe because it's illegal, that's why they were like,
yes, agreed. Okay.
Stop this because this is bad to our bottom line.
Yes.
But if you're thinking like long term, you should be doing it anyway, because long term it's going to benefit you more than not. Like investing into that side of your community is only going to benefit you. Yeah, it might be a bit more work, but at the same time, people just want money.
You know what? Can I just finish the last bit?
Go on.
The only reason why it's such a sore point, right?
Yeah, you're very hot on this.
No, I mean, I'm speaking passionately because it's like something I come from, and to an extent, I don't really give a shit, but because at the end of the day, make your money, do whatever you gotta do, you know. But
contradicting yourself a lot.
Yeah, don't do that.
But the
Stand on your
reason
sword.
why it's a sore point for a lot of people is because not only are we talking about the style classes, as in like hip hop, house, popping, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
These choreo classes, and I may be way off, so please cuss me out if I'm wrong here, but if we look back at like, without going whole history wise, but like if we go back like Michael Jackson days, around there,
Yeah.
a lot of that was not hip hop. It was jazz. It was like if you look at Smooth Criminal, that's not a hip hop dance video, right? And these, the hip hop dancers that are doing like backup dancing and stuff now, it's the influence of hip hop culture mixed with this sort of like jazz structure, let's say. That's why it's done in routines and facing the front.
Killing it.
And coming from like breaking was never that, but you take a top rock,
Yeah.
5 dancers facing the front, now you have like a hip hop routine, right?
On a roll.
And this is something that like the culture has influenced this choreo. So now it's not so much only, like now you see a lot of it with Afro beats, right? Or Afro dance, like these routines that are like choreo, but it's like, that's Afro. You're just calling it choreo because you're not saying you're teaching foundations, but you're doing the Afro steps because it's the popular thing, right? And it's the same with hip hop. There's a lot of like moves and ways of moving that come from like culturally like this hip hop thing. And in our scene, in the battle scene, we're taught to like respect these things and give credit to who they're the names and who they created them. But in that scene, when you're being influenced and making money off these type of movements and feelings, and then calling it that it's that thing when everybody can see that it's not that thing, is your personal take on that thing, is even more disrespectful, because you're like, you're not only labeling it wrong, you're labeling it like that on purpose to get money. So this is why I think a lot of people are sore about that naming whole fiasco, and the fact that the studios did nothing to combat that publicly anyway. I don't know what was done behind the scenes and who had been spoke to, but do you know what I mean? I think this is where it's like, I get what you're saying, like that's a legal precedent versus a moral one. But if there's a moral aspect to this and it's studio owners standing up for the dancers, I would, and I'm thinking of this as like a positive in going forward. It's like, okay, if this is the start of it, I'd love to see them step in more.
Yeah, man,
and
smoking it.
I would actually love, you've got somewhere like Pineapple that it's like, listen, you pay for a slot at the studio, teach whatever you want. If you get people in, great. If you don't, on you. Like you pay us rent, you do whatever you want. If you've got like Bass, the Hub, people like that kind of curate their, is this me smoking it? Thank you.
Just rolling you one.
That curate their teachers,
Yeah.
then curate them. Do you know what I mean? Like step in, like really vet your teachers, which I'm sure they do to a certain extent. But like, I would love to see more of this, and them saying, hey, listen, you're, even to the extent of like, hey, we here at wherever, Bass or whoever, like we curate our teachers and we've come and watched your class and you're actually being a very lazy teacher, or you're not making sure the people at the back get a chance to whatever, you know what I mean? Like really like curate the experience in your class to ensure a high standard.
Yeah.
Across the board, obviously there's going too far, but can I but yeah, like, do you know what I mean? I would like to see more of that in certain studios. If you're going to be that type of studio, be that type of studio and curate an experience in the same way that McDonald's across the world has a standard of like how good or bad their burger should be. Your studio is like, no matter what class you're in here, we want that burger to taste the same. Does it make sense what I'm saying, or am I talking shit?
No, it makes sense what you're saying.
I feel like in a sense though, it's like that would be now almost like a dance school. So what's the difference between a dance school and a dance studio?
Why would you
What is the
classify
difference?
that as a dance school?
Like, because let's say, well, I don't know who has a dance school here, but I remember like in Canada, let's say you had a dance studio, but it's like every class was like really curated for like the teacher and the style and blah, blah, blah. So it's like you become part of that school where it's like, okay, there was other things too. There was like crews in the school and stuff like that. But it kind of becomes like it's a lot less people come and go. It's like you're part of a dance, like.
But wouldn't that be more about the payment structure? If you still have open classes, they're just saying.
I mean, they had like, let's say some open classes, but it, it's not like every class is open class. So, but I just think like between the structure of a dance, like what I call a dance school and the dance studio, I think like that there is an in between, and I understand what you're saying, but also like more what's morally right or morally correct is so subjective.
Sure.
So, and also there's a difference between, I think, saying, oh, this is morally wrong to a culture, a certain culture, or certain people, whereas this issue is directly affecting their client, like the people that are coming to their studio, and like it's taking advantage of their clients directly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that in that sense, like,
This is a good pushback.
I agree with what you're saying from my personal perspective, but from the optic of the studio, like, so if there's like traditional, like, I don't know, Katak dances and African dances, like they have to know everything. You know what I mean? I don't think that expectation is realistic necessarily, because if you offer a quite like a diverse range of styles, if the people coming to class are happy, the person delivering the class is happy, it's like, and nobody's getting taken advantage of in that sense in your building, this is the part that you might, like, I'm just saying that's not what I think, but I understand how this logic makes sense to the point that you're saying that, whereas you're actually saying the people that are coming here and paying money today are getting like taken advantage of. So I'm going to look after my customer base.
Sure.
Who knows though? Who knows if there was a studio that actually like
my customer base
vetted
they might have
choreographers. No, I'm just saying like it would be interesting to see like the most gourmet of the open studios out of the other studios. Like they might become known for it, for vetting the choreographers and having only the best and having correct. Like if they put in that, it's just effort at the end of the day.
Well,
if they do put in that effort, I wasn't finished. Oops. Cut me off when I wasn't finished speaking. If they do that, who's to say that then we won't take notice of that and go, oh snap, that studio's like actually really cares. And if you want to go to the popping class, go to that studio because they've got the highest, and then other studios follow suit. Maybe this is an idea for us to all make a capsule studio and do that.
Oh, mate.
Jen, you got the money?
Yeah.
Give me a few more years.
Okay.
But I think it does happen in places like I would say that Dylan is one for that with his camps. No matter who Dylan programs, I would trust that they're good.
But that's
Same for
because
his teaching and stuff.
That's because he made an effort to do that
And to research.
and to research it. So now anyone who's doing Dylan's camps or doesn't know about Dylan's camps, it's like, I want to do a camp. Someone will be like, oh yeah, Dylan's probably the best because Dylan actually
And if
cares.
you're like, oh, he's doing house, I don't know the house teacher, let's say,
Yeah.
but you're like, I know that he's good because I know that Dylan knows who's good.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, to push back on your pushback, is like, again, this is a personal opinion, and like, this is why I said, do what you want to make your money, because it's like, I can't tell other people how to run a business, especially when I'm not running the business, but or a similar business. But it's like, my personal approach on this would be, if I'm going to start a studio, I'm going to care about all the things that I program. If somebody came with like a Katak, I want to teach a Katak class, and I couldn't verify, maybe I'd reach out to it. If there was they're like, this is maybe not even Katak, like this is an ancient Tibetan dance that I don't know anyone that can confirm that. So sorry, I can't program you because I personally, or my team, can't confirm that you're the real shit. So sorry. And it's like, it's way easier to do that with something like popping. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I would put that on myself, that if I'm going to start a studio, I'm going to make sure me or someone I trust has vetted every teacher to some degree. But again, this is why I say it's like, that's not to say that that's the only way to run a studio.
It's
like,
just effort, man. It's just
it's just like, I would like to see more of this on other levels.
I think it's just a different business approach, like a different business model to having a space with like lots of studios and kind of like a
just open rent.
And just kind of making sure, because it's like, how many, not necessarily how many, but I feel like a lot of studios have like seem to have struggled with filling the classes enough. We know how expensive real estate be in this city, so in a sense it's like, although I like my thing is like, I don't have the solution, because although I don't agree with the way that it's kind of, it can be a free for all of like, do what you want as long as you pay your rent. But at the same time, if you highly curate something, then how do you get the numbers in is something that like, I don't have the answer because I haven't like, not that I would have the answer necessarily if I spent a lot of time thinking about it, but I think it might not be as straightforward and easy as it seems to just say, I'm just going to curate great teachers. Because even when you do get great teachers, a lot of times, like, there's been workshops with like really amazing people, and the numbers aren't there, you know, and people don't pay for it. Sure. Also, especially with styles, and especially now with freestyle styles to a certain level, like, people don't want to go to class.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that, like, it's a multi-layered
issue,
and there's a lot of conversations within the conversation. But I just think that, and not necessarily to like defend the studio owners, but I think a lot of people tend to be angry and complain about things, but what it's like on their side,
logistically looking into it.
Yeah, and
of course,
and financially is like also a lot that we don't know.
Also, it'd be like a very long. This would be it's like I said before. It's more thinking in the long term. It wouldn't be like, oh, if I do this in 6 months, my class is going to be popping. But it's like, no, if this is the bar that we're setting, hopefully over a year's, it would.
Yeah, but
the
who's
name
paying
would get out.
for the
years.
building over that year?
No, but
there
I mean,
are people in the building.
No, 100%. But I don't think you would get any less if you're vetting your teachers.
Yeah, because
versus
who you vet is like, oh, but do they have a following? Do they bring people in every week? Do they?
Yeah, that could be part of your vetting as well.
Yeah, but then it's like, that's when all the lines can start getting.
Okay, yeah, but then it's like, this is again, it's like the morality versus the business. It's like, what's more important? Because it's like, if you're saying, well, I have to be immoral, otherwise I'm going to lose my business. I'm not saying dance studios are immoral, but like, if you're saying I'm going to vote for the route where I can't care about morality because I need to make money, it's like, well, that's like, there's not enough market for studio, then don't run a studio. You know, it's like, people want to like, this is what kind of annoys me is like, people will immediately go after like what.
So we just caught eyes for a second when he was talking
like people will cuss out like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or whatever on a grand billionaire scale of like, oh, Amazon don't do this right, blah blah. But when it's in a culture and people are making money, it's like, oh no, but they're trying their best. It's like, yeah, but you're still making money off something. So if you're saying, well, I need to pack up classes, otherwise I can't pay my I can't pay my lease or whatever, and this building needs to run, then
we wouldn't have studios though. Like, I don't agree with the way that a lot of studios are run, but if it was built on integrity alone, we wouldn't have dance studios with faculties here. We just wouldn't.
Why wouldn't it get packed out if you
think it's just going to open with like the best and most qualified teachers and just immediately make
less than
money?
Yeah,
I'm asking, why would you get less numbers if you had the best popping teacher versus an okay popping teacher?
I think it's more turning people down. I just think
there's like a balance. It seems like there has to be a balance, and that from what I've seen with like turnover of studios, they're started with the best of intentions, and most of them have been dancers, they've been teachers, they know the deal, they know how they prefer to be treated, they know who they like to have in their spaces, and they start out that way, and then they'll see a couple of classes going particularly well or building, and they're more trend-led ones, and maybe the commercial ones of the moment where they're leaning on the style that's trendy, and that keeps those classes keep the buildings open.
Which I'm not against, actually. I'm kind of playing devil's advocate.
Ones that kind of popping, like you talk about battling for £50. If all you're ever winning is £50, you're not exactly rolling in dough, and you're not necessarily full-time with it. Like, the people that are packing out the more commercial classes are very much committed to that being their job. So they're there every week. They're willing to spend that money on like 5 of those classes in a week and not having to choose. I don't think the financial hardship is necessary. It's not a hardship, actually. I don't think the level of investment is always as high in street styles.
No,
that might be
be
a massive strong statement, but maybe it's correct. So if I know that people that are leaning more on the commercial side of things are willing to spend £75 a week in classes, I'm going to keep those classes
But
running.
my-
I wasn't saying to get rid of those classes.
No, he's saying rather than like, I think what you're saying is like, if we ensure that there's a popping class, there's a house class, and they're all good teachers. Abe's just saying, what if we just say no to some people? What if you come and say, oh, I want to teach a house class, and we say, no,
Not just the house, but like you can vet
Or
the
change the
commercial
name,
teachers, or you could vet the Afro teachers or whatever.
But-
or are you saying that the names that they use are misleading on purpose, and
Well-
that's what gets the numbers?
I was just saying that building a studio on integrity alone is just going to fail because
Yeah.
it just is.
That's a hot take. Where's your buttons today?
Uh,
I love how we
Oh,
heard
Jen.
Jen go, oh,
Oh no, oh no.
say it again.
Oh, it's too
A
late now.
studio build.
Wait. I love that Sophia can't hear any of this sounds. No, but I hear what you're saying. Listen, I think
We're also miles away from where we
this is what I
started.
was going to try and get us back to. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think there's no right answer. I'm half playing devil's advocate, half agreeing with what I'm saying and agreeing with what you guys are saying. But yeah, it's just an interesting topic. But let's get back to the audition in a class situation. Was there bits that we didn't cover?
No.
Okay.
We kind of wrapped it up before we went on to the
So crunchy.
next. Yeah, we'd kind of wrapped it up before we went on to the tangent, which I
Yeah,
also
which
feel
is-
that we'd done in another pod before, which is why I kind of shut up. And also I was looking at when I kind of tapped out a little bit, it's the studios in LA or the companies in LA, they, I think in 2020, like reworked how they were labeling their classes. But and I thought it was to do with hip hop, but it was to do with the word urban.
Oh, interesting.
So I didn't bring it up. till
Fair.
now.
Maybe I'm biased because I was so in the midst of hearing those conversations, and maybe it wasn't making as much noise.
No,
as,
it was.
Oh, okay.
And I, you know, I was one of those teachers which we've spoken about that had, it was contemporary hip hop or whatever stupidness it was called.
dare you?
TK made me call my
Halt!
class something.
Yep.
Your class, it is quite hot. Like, I see I get, you're kind of forced into submission because you have to call your class something.
Yeah. I wish it was just the name, like Tally's class. Why did it? You know what I mean?
But
Unless you're
a
specifically
beginner-
teaching a style.
Yeah, it's just, it makes it really, like, if everyone that teaches a choreography class is calling it by their name, it's really hard for anyone that doesn't know you to have any sense of what it is.
But
that
it
you're
also
doing.
is something that we're set in our ways of, like, every class is accompanied by what separate style you're teaching, as opposed to this is just a building full of people teaching choreography. So pick someone, do your research on them, pick them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's like when you get hired as a choreographer, let's say through an agency, and like Rita Ora is like, I want to pick a choreographer. It doesn't say, you don't go on an agency's books and see Tally, hip hop, Bob, street dance, blah, blah, blah. It's like they just look at your work and they look at who you are and they say, here's Tally, she's a choreographer. Here's Chloe Dean, she's a choreographer.
Here's Bob.
And then we choose whose work we like, and that's who you hire. So why can't it work for
I
classes?
mean,
where,
I guess it speaks to, like, we're definitely tangenting up the
yeah,
place
I
now.
did it again.
But I think it speaks to the training that everyone's getting now. Maybe not being like, if I'm teaching people and people like me are teaching people and then they're going on to teach, they haven't got a hope in hell in rooting that in a style of any kind.
Yeah.
Whereas we learnt style. So when we first started teaching, chances are it was closer to a style and then it evolved.
So maybe the names are kind of outdated from when the people who were teaching those things started. It was closer to the thing. And
Yeah.
it's-
And now I have a brand strong enough to, if I did call it Tally, like I'd potentially be all right.
Yeah.
Whereas people that me and choreographers like me, them teaching and then going out into the woods and just having to call it like movement, it's like, oh, like it's harder for them because they don't necessarily have the styles. That's not what I
And
said.
also, you want to wrap it up here?
I do want to wrap it up soon, but go on.
It's okay.
I want to take Bob's class.
Bob
No,
is
I was just
fire.
gonna say that there's like different levels of people taking class. Whereas, okay, if you're a professional dancer, you're gonna research who you take class. But if you're just some person going to the studio for fun, like tell me what class you have. I don't want to spend an hour and a half researching.
That's probably the majority as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think
You don't research when you go to the gym classes?
Like I look quickly, but I don't look at what work they've done, their CV.
But you don't look at the class to see if, like when it says spin class and there's 3 spin classes,
No.
you wouldn't look and see.
No.
So then, yeah.
Like
right.
if it's like if it's like a hit class, it's like, oh, okay, I know what hit is, so I know what I'm gonna get.
So then I would say it's on the gym owner to make sure the people teaching hit or spin know what they're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you go to a spin class and there's no fucking bikes, do you know what I mean? You're not going to look at the teacher. You're going to look at the gym owner and be like, he's advertising teaching a spin class and I got there and we're using hula hoops. What's going on?
So
No?
it's technically spinning.
But is that not a parallel?
Yeah, but also it's like, oh yeah, maybe this is like a spinning class, but not the full class is spinning, and you use weights while you do it. So it's like a spin-off spinning.
Yeah, but you who looked on the website, saw the word spin and went to do a spin class. What if you're doing it as part of a full workout and you need spinning on? Do you know what I mean? It's like it's the same thing of like you can't label it something and then you show up and it's not the thing that you paid for.
But this is the thing where I'm just like, oh, if I'm going to spin class, probably I just want to work out my legs and sweat. So if I'm doing that, I'll be happy. Like, but this is.
But not everyone.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying of the level. Wrap it up. Okay. So
We got some notice board announcements.
Yeah, I don't have much. I don't have much this week, which is good because we've gone on very long on this topic. So there's this there's this
Hate that, by the way.
What?
Why'd you do it?
Oh, push-ups.
It's like, no. Sorry, go on.
Do push-ups. No. Okay. So there's this account on Instagram that I follow and that I recommend you should follow. It's called I Like Networking. And basically they
Joking.
you're like, I hate it. But they post a lot of different opportunities, jobs, funding applications. So it's just like they do kind of a roundup of different things going on. So I saw some workshops here that might be interesting. Like, I don't know who the organization is, but there's an organization called Arts Admin that's doing a funding workshop for writing project grants for the Arts Council of England specifically. And I think that it wasn't with them before, but I've done quite a few different kind of just grant writing workshops. And I think for artists who want to produce their own project, or whether it's an event or even like Battles Get funding or theater pieces, I think people tend to shy away from like the Arts Council, or maybe like be intimidated by it, don't know how to tackle it. So I think these workshops are a good way to, like, you know, they walk you through how to answer questions, what bullet points to hit, what are the priorities, what does that mean? And then often you get to a bit of time to ask if you have a specific project that you're coming with. I'm not sure how much it is. I know the application deadline for the workshop is the 13th of June.
You got to apply for the workshop.
Yeah, so yeah,
But do you have to pay? Is it on audition?
Luke.
So artsadmin.co.uk. artsadmin.co.uk, or if you just go on I Like Networking Instagram account, you're gonna see the post. Also, there is another there's another micro awards available from the British Council. And that's the aim of these awards is to help facilitate partnership and collaboration between disabled artists and or collectives in the UK and in selected official development assistance countries. So basically, I think it's to facilitate collaboration. They have like a list of countries that are like eligible partners. So if there's any disabled artists or collectives that are listening to this might be a good one. It's from the British Council. The application deadline is the 9th of June, which I realize is quite close now, but it's £2,500. So it might be worth it for, I don't know what projects you might have, but maybe it's a fit. So
maybe it's a fit.
And then my last announcement is kind of just something I'm happy about.
Yay.
The new season of Legendary is out.
Oh,
Legendary, for those who don't know, which I think is Abe and Luke, because they're just looking at me with blank faces. Tally might know. Yeah.
I've not seen it, but I know. Yeah.
So Legendary is a reality TV show centered around ballroom culture. So it's a HBO. It's produced by HBO. Michelle was on season 1.
I know the
Michelle
one you mean.
Sadva.
Yeah.
And basically they feature like different houses that are competing for a prize, and they have balls every week. And they have balls every week. Okay. And I watched it, and it's rare that I've watched like reality TV shows about dance and that I enjoyed them. But
I did hear good things about this. That it's really like integral,
Authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, it is a reality TV show, so it's like they have the star judge panels that don't really know too much about ballroom, and there's like a lot of, every week they have to do a group choreography, which I don't think really happens in ballroom culture. But
Hey, rivals.
yeah, or like routines as such. Like I know sometimes they have categories where they walk more than one person or house category. But anyways, with all that said, I know there are elements of it that are not quite it, but it is quite close, and the people who are part of the show are real houses, like
High level.
What do you mean by houses when you say
It's
houses?
like a
Is that
crew.
yeah.
So cool. Is this the thing that you're talking about with
Yes.
Mr. Worldwide? And you were saying that
Like
This
the
is
structure is.
bro,
Mm.
the structure is
Yeah.
mad. Like the ballroom episode, if everyone hasn't listened, it's actually like the most viewed, listened to episode, the ballroom one. And a lot of people actually from the ballroom community wrote me and said like that was a really good episode. So
BC.
more because of my guests than me.
yeah.
But I think I did a good job of like
You did.
playing the idiot and asking the questions. But like the way that they structure their shit, it's like across the world, it's like super like
Hi.
they have their hierarchy. This is how a thing, no one disobeys the thing if you're in charge of that. And it's like, I guess maybe it's like similar with Crump with the like how
Fans
they
and all that.
yeah.
But still, yeah.
But
Doesn't
Vogue is
seem
like
BRC. Please tell me the ballroom community is called the BRC.
The BRC,
Damn it.
the big BRC.
Do they have like blazer jackets and like have like embroidered like griffins?
I don't.
And
I
snakes?
mean they're probably
No, they have whole.
Very Harry Potter-y.
like
together
the
as well.
Vogue scene is like the ballroom scene is like sick for fashion, so they probably wouldn't do
No.
crappy shit like that.
But did they have like houses, their house emblems? Do they have house emblems?
That's a good question. I don't know
I
that.
don't think so.
Yo, BRC, get at us, man, in the comments below.
BRC.
But
Yeah, sorry. Back to
they
the-
have. I know they have chants. Like,
What?
Yeah.
So each house.
Same as the
has-
light feet.
I don't know.
We
about that.
are too fucking real.
Is that light feet?
Yeah, when they do that, like
Is that kind of like the stomp the yard thing?
whoop whoop, empires on the hair, and then they do a
right.
little.
Yeah.
That must be so cool for like young kids, but like as a 30-year-old.
Let's go to next ball. We can all go as a group.
Yeah.
As a group activity, and
You
then we
paying?
can talk about sure.
Cool.
I
Portrait.
will walk sex siren. Continue.
I'll walk face.
I'll
Do walk face.
I'll walk body.
I'll walk
I would not. I
toes.
would not walk face.
What does that mean?
They're all different
Oh,
categories.
so impressive.
Are they?
They have that
so
mad
impressive.
different categories.
What's sex siren?
I actually don't
You
know.
would love a ball, actually.
What the hell
you
is
would,
this
it would
you
fulfill
guys, man?
all your
I feel like that-
greatest fantasies.
I feel like
that I don't know
the
anything
reason
about.
that he would love a ball is why straight guys are not welcome at balls.
That's not true.
No,
No, I think he would enjoy the showmanship
and the abandon of it
the
all.
performance.
Don't
You'd be like,
assume.
what have I walked
I'm
into?
just
You'd probably
joking.
just stand there like,
In my head, it sounds like Hogwarts. And I'm not even a massive Harry Potter fan.
kind of.
Just as in, like, not all right, let me put
Like-
it not in Harry Potter forms. It sounds like an amusement park for dance.
Yes, like it's very elaborate and well presented, and I get like the magical
Welcome
element.
to the BRC!
Yeah, like you walk in and there's just like mad shit, like someone's standing on a table with a big costume and a feather, and someone else is like over there. Like
but
it
they're
is
not
that.
catering to anyone but each other.
Yes.
and I
Yeah,
think
yeah, yeah.
that's the
Hogwarts.
best thing about
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, I 100% get it right. Like I think it's like Hogwarts.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yo, man.
So we can go to a ball. Watch Legendary. New season is out. Also, go back and watch season 1 if you haven't watched it, because our friend Michelle is on
I
it.
do want to watch it.
And I was so like psyched to see her on it. I was like, oh, go Michelle. Okay.
All right. Shall we check out this jungle video? I don't think there's any too
Jungle.
Have you seen
video.
it?
No. It's a
Great.
jungle
I don't
video.
think there's too much of a take to be had in it, but it'd be interesting to watch it. A new feature where we can check out some videos. All right. Well, that's just started while I was
I didn't
talking. You want to give me a second to fucking set it up?
I didn't think it would start playing right away when I opened
When you
it.
click play. Okay, so
We're just gonna watch it. Whoa!
Towels. Hello. Oh, cute.
Hi.
Do you want to give us some background on jungle and this video and the dancers?
No.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Well,
So,
next
as much
topic.
as I can, it's not a super informed take, but Jungle are a band that have every single one of their music videos is dance based. And this round in particular, and the last album maybe, have all been directed by, I may pronounce his name wrong, Charlie D. Would you say Placido?
Yeah, Charlie de Placido.
I know the last
De
album.
Placido. De Placido. Charlie de Placido. That's Italian, no? Charlie de Placido? Charlie de Placchio. No, Placido. It's definitely Placido. Say, imagine you're an Italian. Feel it's Italian.
Okay.
I think
All right.
all but
Italian.
this
I like
one.
spaghetti. I like spaghetti. I like spaghetti. Charlie de Placido. Yeah, it's de
I
Placido.
think all. There's a D in it.
De Placido. Oh, is there?
Placido? Anyway,
Charlie de Placido.
great director. And I think all but this one that we're going to watch, they were all filmed in like a 2-week period for this
Oh, mad.
album because it was like COVID times.
Is it like
Okay.
these people?
Yeah.
Yes.
They've
so
got
good.
3,759,000 monthly listeners.
They're very big.
Oh, they're
That's very
playing in
big.
Crystal Palace on the 30th of July.
I did see
I'm
that.
probably going to go because they're really good live.
Sick.
But yeah, all their music videos are dance based. They're all very, very good. And this is the last, I think, in the series.
Just like
Is this
very
the latest one? or
Yeah,
something?
just came out like today or yesterday.
Today
So,
at 5.
Just like all big budget, like super concept, like sick dancers. Like it's always done.
I mean, it seems pretty big. It started like, whoa! That's,
Yeah.
sorry.
So Mete has been in this album and the last. So she's like a common thread through them all. They all follow her.
I feel like a lot of the dancers have been repeats now.
yeah. Are they,
Yeah.
Do they have like a, although they're a band, do they have like the,
Core dancers.
this is our band, but this is our dance heart?
Well,
Core.
so
Core.
Kendra from Bird Gang, she choreographed their very first video, and I don't think that ensemble. I think it was a
Returned.
different group for each song, but
Okay.
this one it has been a more common
Mm.
thread,
Mm.
except for this one. Like this one has got completely different dancers in it to the ones
All right.
before.
Let's check out.
I'm excited. Let's go
We
jungle.
should talk during it so that we don't get flagged for copyright.
Press play.
That doesn't work. That doesn't work, I don't think.
All right.
Okay,
Well, we're
we
taking.
ready?
Yeah.
You're not getting paid for this anyway.
Bring it down a little bit. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, that's lovely.
It's only if you make money off of these things. Though.
Ah, okay. Well, I'm very broke, so we're good. These are the
sick.
guys from
The
Holland.
Instagram thing.
Yeah, from
That
Holland.
went viral.
Ghetto Funk
Yeah.
Collective.
So it's Shay that choreographed this?
He co-choreographed. So Chi and I'm not sure who Rosh, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure which one that is, but they choreographed it.
Shout out to Jesse in the back.
Naomi.
Naomi.
yeah.
Jesse, Nay,
Paletta.
Bailey, and Paletta, and
Keeks.
Keeks.
Yeah.
It's cracking.
So good.
Naomi's so sick on camera.
Bagsy.
Oi, oi.
It's so good, man. I love it.
I like this kind of like chaotic and then choreographed element, you know? Schreifer.
Yeah, the director's really good, or DOP.
Yeah.
So dope.
Hey, let's go lock in the music video.
Hey,
And if anyone's going to put lock in the music video,
Nicey!
it's
I
these
didn't see her
guys.
in it before.
oh sick! This is sick, man. Why
Yeah.
have I not heard of these people?
You should check out their other videos.
All
They're
of their
very
videos
good.
are amazing. Like
Yeah,
every
I'm
single
going
one.
to.
And like even the styling is dope.
Yeah, I was just about to say that
So dope.
flipping whoever worked costume on
Yeah.
this.
Agreed.
It's Brooke.
Check out, Mr. Brooke in the
Oh, yeah,
background.
there is Brooke.
Looking funky.
Oh, sick of Brooke, man.
Do you know what I mean? At least Silk isn't in this video. That
Yeah.
would be too much.
Yeah, this is fucking sick, man.
Yeah. And like the lock-in is actually good.
Yeah.
I haven't even considered whether I like the song or not.
So he was the main guy in the last album, and this is his return.
Yeah, let's go. Will,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And the comments in all the other videos are like, "Where's Will West?"
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go facials. Oh, hey. I love
Like,
that. It's just so well
when I see
shot.
this,
and-
this is makes me think like Lock-In Sick. When I see stuff
yeah,
like this,
exactly.
Look how much fun they're having.
Let's go, Brooke. Let's go, Brooke.
So good. It like brings me literal joy.
You
Aw.
can't. Yeah, you can't help but watch this and smile.
Hey,
Like you want to be there. I want to have fun with these guys.
Oh
and
look.
imagine the like.
Mr. Tally. Oh. I want to make them a packed lunch and just make sure they go to school all
But
right.
it's just so many of our friends. It's just so good.
Yeah,
It's not the end.
and everyone in this video is fucking good looking.
Yeah.
Just the
Gorge.
best
Look at
looking
that.
people.
What did I say? Booed times.
Good times.
Oh,
You
good times.
What would
fucking
be?
muppet.
Meto's the only one looking in the like. She was looking at us, and everyone else is looking at them. I
Who
don't
was?
know if it was intentional. Meto.
Oh,
Nah, that was a muck up that
And
you just
now-
spotted, and everyone's gonna realise that now.
She's the main girl, so maybe she's looking at us.
I love this. I love silhouette. Looks
Yeah.
and everything.
You can't.
I wish my
Apple
life
kind
was
of killed
silhouette.
it though.
True.
It makes me. It just reminds me of Apple.
This is,
Oh,
I think,
yeah,
a
and
different. This
it
is
is
a
a bit
different
Apple-y.
song, right?
Mm.
So this is 2 songs in one video. Because the title is "Good Times / Problems" with a Z.
Okay, so this is Problems.
How can you be good looking when we can't see your face? It's so irritating. I love these. Yeah, when it like it goes into choreo in and out with the
Yeah.
like, and then it's all
Just
free in the
follows
middle.
them around.
Yeah, I love
yeah.
it.
Very good camera work, man.
So good, man. And it's like, you know what's good about this is a lot of these things that use dance, you often think like, oh, they don't know how to shoot dancers, but these guys know
This
how
is
to
part-
shoot dance.
Yeah, hands down.
Close up
for
in the
sure.
right places, they pull out for the right bits.
Just want to sit and watch the rest with Abe because I
Yeah.
can't believe you haven't seen the others. To be
No,
honest.
man.
we're gonna have to bring them back on the other pods.
This isn't. Yeah, because they're not on a track. He must be. They must be.
Just well rehearsed.
What is it? No, but it must be on a harness. The camera to be doing all this.
Yeah, I
shit.
think it is handheld.
But that's even more impressive to get
Yeah.
all of this handheld. Is
Not maybe with a fucking, what do you call it?
yeah, the thing that they
Like,
wear.
yeah,
but
yeah,
that
yeah.
still doesn't make
Yeah,
it any less
fucking good.
impressive, man.
Beautifully, like the movement as well. I love this neon sign thing as well.
Have you seen the majority of them?
I usually check them out when
Not
they
to the
come out.
point where you'd have a favourite.
No,
Okay.
no.
I want to know your favorite before I start watching them.
Mine.
Top 3, yeah. This
got
is
'em.
sick, man. Sharifa, there she is.
Shriver.
Sharifa. Also, like the focus pulling
Yeah,
and
it's
all that is
amazing.
mad.
Yeah.
To be, this is all like what, one take? This is all one shot, surely.
Yeah, it looks like it.
This one was the last one wasn't, was it?
It might have been actually. That's something we should have clocked. I don't know if the last one was one take.
This
I
is
think
all.
they tend to be.
That's yo, man.
Yeah, this has been all a one take. Yeah, they do tend to be all one
Yeah,
take.
I think so.
That's even better, especially from like a artistic perspective
It's
as well.
like they just take a dump on the table and just be like, "This is how you do it, everyone."
Yeah,
Like, this is very high quality stuff. And
Keep
this is just.
Moving is the one that you should watch.
keep moving.
Where's that? Is that number 1 on yours? Top 3?
No, but it's the one that you should watch.
Okay.
For how cleverly it's filmed, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Which one's that?
Keep moving, keep moving.
Oh,
Oh, is that them?
Yeah.
Oh.
what's the video look like?
It's like in a office block-ish. Mete comes from inside, like Jason's in it.
We need to do
I'll
a.
have to check again.
Let's do
We'll
a
watch it when we're
capsule.
done.
Do a capsule. Jungle reaction.
It's not done, I think.
Not jungle. Yeah, jungle is the thing.
Oh,
That's
Filmed
the
by
director
J.
there.
Lloyd,
Charlie de Placido.
Placido.
Charlie de Placido.
Choreographers
Oh,
Roche Apince and Ruben.
oh, so those are the two of the lockers.
Yeah.
And Shay.
I thought you
Starring-
knew
Ghetto Funk
Ruben.
Collective.
Gee.
As in, I know of them. I don't know them personally now.
Movement director Shay. Ghetto Funk Management Maurice Vandam.
Yeah, let the credits run, Jim.
Starring Will West and
Give the dancers their due.
Give the dancers the chew.
Sing it,
Also,
Abe.
I do have to say that I really do appreciate
What do you
credit
appreciate?
roll with the names of all
Yeah.
the dancers, because I feel it's so rare that dancers get even
Get the shine.
a tag
Did
on
we-
Instagram.
I don't
Yeah.
think we were doing the
Cut it.
capsule when the whole Jessie Nelson thing
Let him
happened.
do.
Oops.
What's Jessie Nelson?
The former member of Little Mix that came out
Oh,
with
yeah.
that. She sampled the Puffy song.
Yeah, Boys it was called.
Yeah, Bad
She
Boys.
did a video, credits, like literally catering were credited and not the dancers. But the dancers are like in the B-roll as the credits are going and
But
like,
they're
just
not
not
credited.
there.
No.
Just like, what are we doing?
come on, man.
That was when I made my meme about dancers wanting to be credited but not crediting their photographers.
Ah, yeah.
And you were not impressed.
Was I not?
Well, you didn't find it funny. You just said, "Oh, that's all right."
That's
Yeah, but Tally doesn't find
No, yeah,
everything
not
funny.
impressed, but just not impressed.
Not laughing.
Yeah.
That was fucking sick. That was sick. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
really good.
Big fan of Jungle video.
Yeah. Really
done,
fucking
Jungle.
Good.
We want more.
Why do I know that other song that you were singing? The one
Keep
that you told me.
moving, keep moving.
Where's that from? I feel like that's like Apple did a fucking video with that
Video game?
video game. No, they did like a commercial and they.
It might have been just
Probably.
on your suggested playlist. On
You'll know a
Spotify.
lot of their songs.
Maybe you just listen to it.
You'll know a lot of
Okay.
them, but just not know it's them necessarily.
Can we do? Yeah, can we do a pod
Jungle reaction.
jungle
Yeah,
reaction?
if we don't have anything next week, we'll
thing.
watch another video.
Sick.
Also, depending on how people react to that segment, maybe they're like, "Fuck you
If
guys
they like
watching that
it,
shit."
let's do a once.
Week.
But watch
Week
Keep Moving when
with
we're done
one.
recording this. Part.
Okay, because you know it's my first time seeing it, so I'm technically your audience here. I'm the voice of the
If
people.
they're still here.
This pod is going to be how far are we in?
An
5
hour and
hours?
38 minutes.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. You know we like these long ass pods.
We've been
yo.
away from a month. You gonna have all of this
we
now?
back and we rusty,
Come on, boy.
rusty and
Little
lusty.
boy.
Still got questions.
All right, let me just. All right, so let's shout out MSB. MSB is happening this weekend. Multi-styles battle.
MSB.
Let me just reel this info off
Yeah.
for your ass.
Yeah, get it, boy.
Your Next Move presents the 8th edition of Multi-Styles Battle, MSB. Judge, DJ, and host lineup below. So, the styles that we have: breaking, one-on-one; hip-hop, one-on-one; popping, one-on-one. Bruv, ask me who the judges are.
Bro, who the judges on them teams there, bro?
Let me tell you then.
Hey, gun.
We've got Marvel from Monsters Crew.
I'm a robot.
We got Nikki, the world famous Nikki
Yeah.
of Nikki and Martha smoking just a boo ass fame.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
She's very good.
Cool. I'm really good.
We got Spin, B-boy Spin.
Spin. Can you do no repeats? There's no repeats.
Is that what Spin says?
He says that on one of his upcoming. You should plug that on the show. His upcoming battle. No repeats. Repeats matter here. Anyway,
Okay.
Spin. Yeah, good friend Spin.
DJ Fame
I'm famous.
and DJ Kung Fu.
Hey, don't touch the hair.
Nice. I don't know what you're doing, but I like
Kung
it.
Fu.
I really fucking like it.
Carry on.
Jesse and Jules are hosting. They also hosted West Country Clash recently. Did a great fucking job.
I'm Jesse. I'm Jules.
That was a good reaction.
Thanks.
Reaction impression.
Yeah.
There we go. So we have some battle guests.
Who the battle guest be?
We have McLean from Ill Warriors for the break-in. He's fucking dope.
Yo, it's ill warriors in the house.
Nice. I'm loving all of this. We have a guest from I don't know where she's from, and I'm gonna sing to you so that you don't recognize that I'm looking it up now.
time.
But her name is Cherez.
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 She's the hip hop guest.
That sounds like a really premium cheese. Can I have a cracker with the Cherez?
Tasty.
Nice. Cherez is in the house.
Woo! We have Popping Tyler from Firehouse. I
Hey,
think he's
yo.
from France.
Hey, Tyler, welcome to smoke you.
Maybe Switzerland.
Switzerland? Okay, he speaks
Maybe.
French. I know that.
What's,
his poster
what's
in French.
Switzerland? What's the accent like?
That's Sophia's people. Give
What-
us an
what do you want
accent.
Speak.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No, 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 no,
no, no, don't
No,
get me
no, no,
involved
no,
in
no,
this.
no, no, no.
no, I'm from Switzerland. No,
No, no, no, no.
Speaking enough.
Jen, can you do a Swiss accent?
No.
Okay, cool. So there's workshops, performances, international battle guests, cash prizes, £5 tickets, and children 5 and under. Ask me how much they pay.
How much do 5 and unders pay?
0.
That's because they can't work legally. Ain't got no cash.
If you would like to buy your advance tickets now, go to the Gloucester Guildhall website.
That's Gloucester Guildhall.
www.gloucesterguildhall.co.uk.
Say it again. Say it again.
www.gloucesterguildhall.co.uk. Gloucester Guildhall, Saturday the 4th of June, 1 till 7 p.m. Workshop with Spin, workshop with Nikki, workshop with Marvel, battle, and that's it.
I feel like as the rust falls away, there's some real work to be done on like
What?
delivering info just so that people can like get it.
I feel like the way we delivered the MSB information tally was probably the best info we've ever done.
Can I just say something?
Could you let us know in the comments below?
Yeah, let us know if
let's
you
do a
prefer.
poll. Can you do one of those poll things where they press I on the video and then they say yes, no?
Yeah.
Well, let's do a poll.
Let's do a
see.
poll.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer it done like adults, like Tally wants us to do, which
Or-
in my opinion is super boring,
Or in a fun way.
or like 12-year-olds?
Well, don't call us 12-year-olds because now you're making it sound like
Right.
you're helping her case.
Oh,
You said, do you want it done like an adult or do you want it done like a 12-year-old? The adult one is going to win.
I think more
Right,
so than like preference of how it's delivered is how many people went to the, or do like a quiz, like what's the website that you need to go to for?
Did you get anything? Like, I had fun, but what the fuck is it?
Like who's hosting?
oh, jeez.
Guys, let us know if you like the way me and Abe deliver things.
Otherwise, if not, then Tally can deliver all of those.
Otherwise, next time we'll hire an accountant to just come and sit here and say, Spin is judging breaking. Nikki is judging hip hop.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are actually probably right. I'm just in defense mode.
No, it was a nice aside after that like assault.
Madness. Yeah. No, you are right. You are.
We
right.
need this. We need both ends of the spectrum.
We do need both ends of the spectrum. You need me for a little bit of.
I feel like I'm a middle ground.
No, you are on fire today. You said a lot of silly things today.
I like you said, as the rustful. Anyway, so as our last segment, we're trying some new shit, guys. Basically, we've been away for a month, and in that time, yes, we've been grieving, but also we've been thinking. We've been grieving and we've been thinking. We've been doing both, okay? We've been escaping from life. We've been spending a little too much time on the PlayStation, eating a little too much junk food, crying in between. We've been doing stuff like that. It's just what we do. We're just bursting into tears for no reason. Yes, we've been doing that, but also we've been thinking.
If you do it now, I'm going to lose my shit.
We've been thinking, and we've been thinking about different things that we can bring you, different ways to make the podcast more exciting, more fun. We've got Sophia in the building. We brought in a specialist, all.so.visuals with the fire ass visuals, and we also want to bring you some different types of things, so please do give us feedback in the comments.
Just quickly, to add context to this, like, bless his little heart, he is so invested in this stuff. We were playing video games and he'd be halfway through a mission killing a dinosaur and being like, but what about if on the podcast we did this segment here or anything? That would be great. Yeah. Your brain's been tinkering away. It
does not stop.
It's great to see you back at work.
So thank you. I love you. Thank you for being back.
No worries.
And thank you guys for being here. So the last segment that we have is we thought it would be cool if people could ask us questions from the general ether is a great word.
Thanks.
And we give our thoughts on it. I don't want to say we're experts in what we do. We're not fucking bad, you know what I mean? So we got a couple of questions here from people that have sent in videos. If you want to send in a video, please do. What?
People send in videos?
Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen these yet? I have.
Bye.
You haven't seen. Okay, so we're gonna listen to their questions and we're gonna give our opinions.
Okay.
And if you want to send in a video, please do. You can the email address will be in the description. Just send us in a video. It can be like a phone video or whatever, and ask us questions or topics that you'd like us to address. It doesn't have to be something that you personally don't know the answer to. It can be something that you just want us to talk about or whatever. But yeah, send them in and we'll play them and we'll react and see if anyone gives a shit about this segment. But seems fun. All right,
Otherwise, it won't be back.
let's go on the first one. Oh,
See how I waited for my cue this time?
Yeah, she's learning.
Yeah.
Rust is falling off. Oh,
Hey guys,
Hi.
hope you're good.
Howdy.
My name's Lee Van Pier, and
What
I
up?
am a movement artist based in East London.
cool.
Thank you for allowing me to ask a question
So
today
polite.
on your panel
You are
and on
super
your podcast.
welcome.
So this is a question for the entire team on the panel.
That means Jenny's
podcast.
involved.
And it is, what are the key metrics, attributes, attitudes and methodologies that an emerging and aspiring choreographer should have or should strive towards when pursuing a career in the choreographic, entertainment and artistic industry?
What an articulate young man.
No.
Very polite.
It's going to replay.
An amazing. Yeah, just. I'm a big fan of that video. Also, just a quick heads up. What was that lovely gentleman's name?
Levan.
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 You were very polite in saying
Super
the whole of the panel.
Same.
Yes.
But I'm a dum-dum, so it's thank you guys.
Go! Abe's like,
field.
thanks for including me, but I don't know.
When he was listing off all the things, I was like, oh.
Just I'm very much looking in Tally's direction to start this off. Also, definitely need a thesaurus to go through all those words.
No, you
metrics,
don't.
metrics, attributes,
Attitudes.
so just what does it take to be
Yeah.
a good choreographer? All right.
I said way better than that.
But it's not just skill, it's maybe like mindset, a more holistic approach of what you say is needed.
Okay. Do you want to kick us off?
To be successful as a choreographer, he said.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. I mean, I guess I'm fairly well placed out of the people in the room, but I'm not like.
Flex on him.
Whoa.
Well, that's like a very.
Subjective, yeah.
It's a whisper of a flex, but
Well,
I'm not the.
didn't you just get a show that you
West
choreographed on the
End.
West End?
Yeah, now she flexing. Come on now.
I think what came to mind, and I am fresh out of the intensive, but I think what's helped me along is my identity as a choreographer. And I was thinking, watching some stuff on the socials today, and when we were talking about the classes, like the trend, like I watch a lot of commercial work now, and I don't know whose it is. Like it could be anybody's, and that is potentially a skill to be able to do that and to be across what's hip and happening and what popular artists might want, if indeed you want to choreograph for artists. But I think that my favorite thing and the thing I'm most proud of as a maker is that people will only ever come to me when they want me. And that won't be all the time. So again, I guess it's like, what kind of work do you want to do, and is the goal to do lots of work or a certain kind? But I think starting from a place of authenticity is a good way to go, because especially if you're starting out, if you're looking at what's popular and what's getting people work, and then you follow that, those people are getting the work already. So I would imagine that it's harder for you to join that roster. Whereas if you've got like a singular skill or voice, creatively speaking, then that would put you in good stead.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
How? When did you know you wanted to be a choreographer, or do choreography? Can you remember? Like, was it like a childhood dream of yours, or
No, I wanted to be an accountant.
Oh yes, I do remember that.
I remember when I first wanted to teach, but I was just really excited about like this stuff that was coming out, and I just wanted to like share that. But in terms of being a choreographer, I'm still not like entirely sure like I want to be a choreographer. Like I'm just doing it, but I don't pursue it.
And does your thoughts, or how can I put this? Does your what you think is important in your work and etc. change as, or have you noticed it change as you've matured in the field, or like had different perspectives, or like as you've grown, have you noticed any type of?
You're gonna have to send in a video for
Like
this.
in my like in the stuff that I actually make,
Yeah.
a difference in that.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
been,
Like if I watch old classes, I'm like, oh gosh. But I think it's more in the execution than the moves themselves necessarily. But I will say, as I've got older and now that I'm in theatre more and like able to like not compartmentalize, but pull apart the different skill sets that make up the role, I find it a lot easier to choreograph in the industry because I'm not dialing it in, but it's not mine. So like I care about fulfilling the brief, but it's not my brief. So there's a little bit more distance from it. And I think as I work more as a choreographer, I'm getting better at just being able to do that and it not be as tortured a process as if I'm making for class and it's, you know, my name won't be in lights. It'll be, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not attached to me as much. If that's any help.
What an amazing question.
Yeah.
11.
I would imagine, you know, I can't speak from too much of it.
Represented him at the agency before, so that's not good. But I've only ever seen it in an email.
I can't speak from too much experience, but I would imagine that, yeah, your identity is the most thing because as a choreographer, it's like we're hiring you for your identity. As a cinematographer, you're being hired for your identity. As a director, you're being hired for your identity.
Yeah.
Maybe less so as an actor because you have Ryan Reynolds, Denzel, Tom Cruise, people who play themselves, Will Smith, in every movie, and they're being hired for who they are. But actors with a lot of range are more so getting hired for, yes, their creativity that they bring for the role, but being able to fulfill the role, right?
Yeah.
But then if you think, like, yes, there's a level of like, you know, creativity or whatever in that, but I would say the skill is more making you forget that acting is happening.
Yes and no, because it's still like based off, I would say that it's still individual. Like I'm noticing now, and there's more of a, I've noticed there's more of a focus on that, on the individual. Like what are you bringing to the room? Like when you get, people have gotten roles and I've gotten roles before because of how I've interpreted a script based on my life experience or how I'm reading it. And you often find directors or, you know, the showrunner or whoever sees that you're interpreting a line differently or seeing it played out in a different way. And they're like, oh, that's interesting. I want to go with that because it's based in real life. It's based on who I
guess the parallel of that is the dancer that interprets the choreography in a certain way. But then you also have like, let's say, the script writer, like, is it Aaron Sorkin? He's a script writer. Yeah.
Oh, I really want to see To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm gonna
like he's the one that did social network and all that, right? Yeah. So Aaron Sorkin, like, I love the way he writes and his, especially his dialogue is like, this is like, I guess the thing that he's famous for, but like this like quick, witty back and forth dialogue, and it's like he could write a scene and it like sometimes you could watch it and be like, oh, that's probably his
writing
thing, and like he puts his identity, his stamp on no matter what the subject is. It can be like the social network or whatever, but like you feel him in it, which I guess is kind of the choreographic thing, right?
But
like,
that's like, just to go back to like that whole acting thing, when you have a writer that is so amazing that everything's so rich, it makes the actors like, that's the writer coming like making the actor's job super easy. I feel like the actor's individualism comes in more to play if the writing is
they take over
not so good, or there's like, or it's built in tandem, so the writer and the actor are often
like the Jungle video where you've got a good choreographer and good dancers, and then they're just
and they can have fun together. But sometimes it's like, this is the thing I wrote and this is how, and you read it and you're like, flipping, I don't need to do anything, you've done all the work for me, thank you, and you just
sick
do it.
Can I say something that's a bit like, I agree with what you all said, and that identity is really important, but I think also, especially in choreography, I think it's a craft, you know. So I think like the crafting and practicing, making in different
like
ways,
the method of doing it,
understanding lighting, understanding staging, understanding like how the audience is going to interpret the stuff.
But not even to that level, but just of like how you put movement together on a group, how, like, you know, how things counterpoint each other, how you go on different rhythms, how long is too long for something, how short is too short,
the science behind it.
I think it's like, you know, in order to create something that seems magical and effortless, like the making of it, I don't think is necessarily magical and effortless.
No.
Like, I think that a lot of things that we really enjoy are like, have so much thought and craft put into it, you know. So I think although there is, you know, I'm all for like a kind of the like a spiritual connection or like getting in the zone and doing something. I think it's easy to get lost in that, but to not necessarily be grounded in like the craft and the not so
the more pragmatic aspect of it.
Yeah, of like, okay, what works, what are like actual choreographing techniques, and not to say that you have to follow the techniques, but to try to see what works for you and why.
For what it's worth, I don't know those.
Yeah,
I was just about to say the opposite. I would go to your intensive to learn stuff like that.
Yeah,
The ideas segment is that.
yeah.
It's the art, it's the art of choreography.
When I watch like Robia, Rajani, Jevon, like certain people where I know their training, like I can see their training, or I can see that they've gone through studying form, and I haven't made much work either, so it's not a thing of comparison, but I can see form and like guess what their process might have been without knowing it, whereas I don't have that knowledge and education necessarily. But I think the method, having a method before you're in a room and just like, oh my God, but I need to like have drunk a bottle of wine and like have lit all the candles to get in the zone, like, you know. So I do think that part is really important. And I think also knowing what you might want to choreograph for, because the approaches to all are very, very different. So.
It's a very good question.
Can we
Do
hit the next one, because we are way over time?
Yeah.
I would,
Over time, like it won't upload or people will be bored.
Just, maybe people will be bored.
My name is Naya, and my question is, what do I have to do to find a work as a dancer instead of applying to a different dance agencies? Thank you.
Well,
aside from
today is the tally show.
Yeah.
So aside from applying for agencies, what do you have to do to find work as a dancer? I would start off, before Tally actually tells you the real answer, I would say create a name for yourself, create a brand, create a presence. Like, whether it's social media or just being in the scene or the industry or the industry that you want to work in. It's like nobody is ever going to find you sitting in your room being like, oh, I'm the greatest popper in the world, or I can choreograph really sick, and just in your room doing it. It's like, cool, like how the fuck are we supposed to know you? Like, you have to be known. So whether that's networking, making friends who can speak you up, like going to stuff, like putting on show, let's like, you know, these platforms like Dancers Delight or something, like putting on your work so that people can go, damn, you're fucking sick, or building a super popping social media presence and all your content is fire and you only work with the best like videographers or whatever. But like, we got to know you. Like, you got to find a way to market your stuff. And this is something I'm big on in terms of like, in just life, in terms of people doing anything, is like, if you want to sell something, like boil it down to bare minimum, right? You're trying to sell something. People need to buy the thing. They will not buy the thing if they don't know about the thing. Like, I'm not hiring plumbers that I don't know exist. I'm looking on Google and the first person that comes up, I'm like, 5 stars, cool, come and fix my bathroom. Like, we got to know about your shit. So yes, agencies help you to do that, but sometimes you can circumvent, if that's the right word, having an agent or whatever, if you're bringing in your own work. Like, I think Frankie got hit up about Kylie Minogue through Instagram.
Yeah, I've got thoughts on this, but I want to hear what Tally says. Yeah.
I heard this play before we started, and no offense, lovely lady, but I was like, eye roll. My instinct now, and again, just coming out of the intensive, there's no shame in asking this question and how like broad it was, but I think that to like pause and consider like, what do I actually want to do? And you don't have to like narrow, even if it is everything, just acknowledging that like everything has a different way of going into it and like different people to approach. And because the way that the question is asked tells me, and I may be wrong, that reaching out to different dance agencies has been writing one message and sending it to the plethora of dance agencies, and it not being tailored in your mind, let alone like tailored externally to who it might be that you're reaching out to. And it's like, I just want to dance. It's like, I don't know anyone on the receiving end of that would find that appealing. It's like, what's that restaurant, Cosmos, that sells like every cuisine in it? And I'm
Like
just
global
like,
buffet kind of thing.
yeah, it's
Or-
like,
yeah, they must
kinda
also
like
the
that, yeah.
agencies must get those emails all the time as well. So,
Yes, we
you're
do.
not separating yourself by sending them a generic email. They're just like,
No.
oh, you're just.
It's kind
and
of
I get it when you're like, sorry,
no.
when you're starting out, that it will feel general to you because you won't know. But it's okay to like not know and not do anything about it externally. It's all right to like research or think or watch loads of stuff, read loads of stuff, and like narrow it down for yourself first before trying to. And that plays into marketing, doesn't it? But I don't even mean it from that sense.
Well,
but it's a real exhausting, as someone that did it, pursuit to just be like, anyone, like, I'll learn how to, and you can't even do all of the things that you want to do. So there's also that, like,
and once
how good are you? No offense.
Yeah, and once you know the specific thing, you can specifically train for that thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where my thoughts. Sorry, where you finished? That's where along like only from the acting side, like I've had people be like, oh, I want to be an actor, I want to do this, I want to do that, and it's like, okay, but what do you want to do? Do you like you specifically? There's like, if I'm trying to think of it in the dance world, are you trying to get into shows? Are you trying to dance for music artists? Are you trying to? There's loads of different avenues. If you don't know, that's fine. I would say just get involved in the world and try and figure it out as you go. If you do know, then I would suggest researching people in that field who are already successful in that field. If you do know, that's you're already in a better place than you would be if you don't know, because you can get specific with it. Figure out. Not everyone has the same blueprint, but there will be blueprints out there of how X person got to Y position. Oh, they went through this path, or they did that. Maybe I will consider doing this, or consider doing X, or consider doing Y. And as you go further along into it, there's so many more specifics with each stage. Like you said, emailing agents. Have you looked at the agent's client list? Are there people that look like you on the client, etc.? Or like, if you're going to do the marketing route and get jobs through your Instagram profile, how many people are doing the exact same thing that you're doing? Do you want to do something unique, etc., etc.?
Well, I think the way it kind of comes all full circle, is like, even what I was saying at the beginning, it's true what you're saying even of that, because if you're going to market anything, I often bring this up to people when they say they're going to start a dance class wherever, and it's like, who is your audience? Like, you have to know who your audience is, and it's like, what's your specific thing? So even if it is like, I'm just going to market myself and I'm going to become so big on Instagram, blah blah, it's like, you have to, if you don't know your audience, you're marketing to everyone and therefore marketing to nobody. So whether or not it's through an agency, whether or not it's just marketing to the general public, whether or not it's just trying to, like, I don't know, get lucky and get scouted for something, like whatever it is, you have to know who you're aiming your thing at. Otherwise you're kind of talking to no one, especially in a world that's so broad and so full of, we can communicate with everyone, so even if on my Instagram, it's still very much tailored to the people that I have interacted with in my side of the world and my scene, but I still have to be specific and be like, this post is for this thing, or I have to tailor it to make it whatever. And it's the same with writing agency emails or whatever. It's like, who are you speaking to and what do you want them to see from you and hear about you?
But even one step before that, and that can be like the last thing I say today, but is like, even before that, for me, it would be to take a real hard look at yourself. And but evaluate like what your level is at, and if you like, who are the people that you look up to, and what is the gap and what you need to do in order to get to that level. Because even if you do, like, even marketing on Instagram or whatever, like, it's a flipping full-time job itself, So I would say more like, if you're going to invest time and your training is not necessarily at a certain level, no amount of marketing is going to help you, So I feel like, be really realistic about your, what your level is at, and are you at the level of the people who are doing what you want to do? And if so, then find out who the people that you should get in touch with, like what kind of demos you should be sending, or take classes with people that are assisting in movement, you know, kind of do some research about who's in contact with the work that you want to do, and then, you know, even ask the person for a coffee and ask for advice. Or, you know, I think there's different ways to go about marketing and meeting people.
Yeah.
But I think besides like wanting to work, I think the first thing is like the skill, and then after that, once you start investigating, things will refine. You know, the goals will refine themselves as opposed to just work as a general rule.
It's something that becomes fairly cliche, but like thinking of yourself as a product, I think helps a lot, because if I'm brought in as a marketing person or whatever, even if I'm just like a CEO of Nike, and they say, we want to sell this new running shoe, and I'm like, cool, put it in all the stores. It's like, what do you mean put it in all the stores? Yeah, email all the stores and tell them we want this new running shoe. And it's like, you have to do a bit more research. You have to understand, like, first of all, is the shoe better than the competition? Like what Jen's saying, is it good? Does it hold up against Adidas? Does it hold up against the other things? So there's that research that has to be done. Then who are we selling it to? Is a running shoe is it for runners? Is it for casual people? Blah, blah, blah. Where are the stores that service those people? Cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, what, like fifth on the list or whatever is like, then how do we market it to those people? So it's like there's a whole process of like, what do you want to do? Are you good enough to do it? Then start doing the specific reaching out, and yeah.
Also, can I say one last thing?
I lost confidence at the end.
One thing I would one last thing for me as well is like, how serious are you about it as well? Because like
really beating this young lady
no
the head with the message.
This isn't for you, Naya, I believe you said your name was. This is just for anyone who is in your position. Like, let's say I'm a dancer. Let's say
you're a dancer.
I want to be represented by Tally. Let's say I send out a generic email to Tally 6 months ago, and she reads it and she goes, yeah, cool, whatever. Like, you're going, these people that you want to work for, that you want to, you know, get hired by, whatever, they're going to probably see you multiple times. And if you are just focused on your progression and being serious, maybe Tally then sees me at a class and goes, oh, there's that guy that sent me that email, fair enough. Then she might see me in a show and be like, oh, there's that, fair enough, I'm seeing him progress. Yeah. People will see you in the scene progress. And when they see you progress, they'll start taking you more seriously, because I don't think you have time to deal with someone who's thinking at level 1. Like, your time is precious, and people only want to invest that time in people who are serious about it. So
yeah, I was just going to say, reaching out to agencies is way further along in the process than you might think it is. It's not the first port. I wouldn't say it's the first port of call by any means.
Cool. I think let's wrap, because we're probably way over time.
How long have we been speaking?
2 hours and 8 minutes.
Well, we've been away for a month.
We've done some longer
2 hours,
ones.
right?
We've done some, and there's potentially cuts to be made, but let's see.
Oh yeah.
Potentially.
Let's see.
All right. Well, everybody, I wish you a good week.
Bye.